And for those who don't know, I mean, the issue with Vinicius was there was a huge section of Valencia. It was the Valencia game, right? Valencia game.
Mm-hmm.
Valencia
Mm-hmm.
fans at the Mestalla Stadium. I believe that was maybe a week and a half ago. And they were pretty much, doing monkey chants and pretty much attacking him in a vile, racist manner. The ref sent him off. I mean, the ref didn't. I wouldn't say the ref sent him off because he was reacting. He was reacting to the racist abuse, but the ref sent him off while not completely looking at the whole VAR clip. Um, and what even made it worse was the chief of the Spanish. It's not the La Liga chief, Javier Tebas, went on and kept going back and forth with Vinicius on Twitter, talking about Vinicius needs to educate himself when all Vinicius was doing was trying to call attention to the racist abuse he was suffering. Now the La Liga chief has come back and tried to apologize a little bit. They fired some of the VR officials, and they've at least they've done things to make themselves look better in the media. My theory is that the La Liga lawyers pulled Tebas to the side and told him, "Hey, look, whatever you said on Twitter to Vinicius, you better walk it back because this is not good for the brand. This is not good for the league. This is not good for you personally." So maybe that's why he has come back to kind of like apologize. But Ola, I know you are one of the at least on this forum, you're one of the prominent voices on issues like this.
Mm.
At this point, what do we do? Do we start deducting points? Right? Do we start like do because I mean they can ban fans from the stadium all they want. I mean, it keeps happening. So do we
Yeah.
start deducting points? What do we do?
I said La Liga has a very weird situation. There's this correspondent is on one of these podcasts. He's Spanish. Now he wasn't making excuses, but he was saying why it's difficult for La Liga to punish these teams is like in their constitution for their football league, they don't take those matters. They are not the ones in charge of judging those matters. So, for example, when there's a racist incident, La Liga will report it to the city council or wherever that took place and say, okay, look, this crime has been committed or whatever, and then those will be the ones who will investigate and then like recommend what punishment. So basically, in their Spanish football constitution, La Liga actually don't have the power to
Power to
enforce punishment, which is strange because okay, it's constitution, it's written by human beings, so why can't you rewrite it? Just rewrite the
Exactly.
constitution. Now you see that this stuff is getting worse and worse. So write it into your constitution and say, okay, now we give the Spanish La Liga FA power to deduct points, power to close stadium and all of that, and power to get people arrested. Because in England, that's it. The clubs have power to ban somebody for life. They have
Absolutely.
power to report you to the police and get you arrested. So they should write that into their constitution. So they keep hiding behind that. So that's what they've been hiding behind. They've been hiding behind, oh, we don't have the power to actually enforce any change. But yeah, this is 2023. You can't keep hiding behind that. You can change the constitution and give yourself the legal powers to enforce some change. In answer to your question, I just think stadium closure, number one. Any racist abuse, just close. Don't let their fans into the stadium for the next maybe 5 games or something. Let their brains reset on that first. Then when they do it again, start taking points from the clubs because that will make the clubs sit up. The clubs will be like, okay, now we need to tell our fans to behave or else we'll start losing 5 points, 6, 7 points, 8 points. If the stadium ban doesn't work, because monetary fines don't work on this kind of situations. Monetary fines, there's too much money in football, man. How much do you want to fine Valencia? Eventually, they don't even fine them millions. They just fine them maybe 100,000 euros or whatever. That's nothing. What's this monetary fines? Close the stadium for like 5 games. Or then if that continues, start taking points from the teams. Because it's really, really sad. I don't know. I know in England they have their own issues, but it's not this bad in England. I mean, they catch them, they arrest them. Even if you send racist abuse on social media, now they track you down. They ban you. So yeah, it's sad. It's really sad.
Yeah, I was very disappointed in the officials. That was really firstly what kind of caught my attention in the whole scenario, and also the Valencia players. I kind of,
Yeah.
we kind of don't mention the role they also played in it, because sometimes you can identify some of these things, right? These are not new
Yeah.
phenomena in football,
Yeah.
right? I feel like they also sort of exacerbated the issue, because you could easily be empathetic to a fellow player and what they're going through in real time. Um, these things are in football. I'm hoping and praying, again, that things will change. But I think the way they'll change is by us, as a whole, standing against it, and most importantly, making some of these, very, very strict rules against it, right? England has
Yeah.
done a little bit of a better job compared to the Italian league, as Ola said, and the Spanish league. I think what's most important, and I kind of agree with you people's, sentiments that, let them close the stadiums for a few games, 3 games for first incident. Second incident, close the stadium and deduct points. Third incident, close stadium, deduct points, add fine. It keeps getting worse if it's a repeat offense. I think at that point in time, they would have no other issue. They will have no other choice than to find a long-term solution.
And talk about the first 11 team of the season for the Premier League plus manager. Obviously the season is over. This one, I can already see Henry is going to pack this team full of Arsenal players. I can see Bukayo Saka, Odegaard, Gabriel, the other Gabriel, all of them. I can already see it. So
With my team, I went with a 4-3-3 approach for the formation. Up top, we already know. I think everybody's going to choose Haaland. If you don't choose Haaland, you're on the long thing.
Spoiler alert.
To the right, I have Saka. To the left, I didn't want to use De Bruyne in the center, so I moved De Bruyne to the left. I put Odegaard just to accommodate Odegaard. I think he played really good this year. He probably was one of the right things that happened with Arsenal. So I moved him to play right behind the wingers, and then I put Gundogan to play next to him, and then I put the position I actually found very tricky was that 4 position. I struggled to choose between Rodri, Caicedo, or Partey, but I kind of removed Partey, so I'm just going to go with Caicedo. I know most people most likely choose Rodri though. And then on the left, I chose Estupinan, the Brighton left back. I think a lot of people don't talk about that guy.
yeah.
Brighton's fullbacks. If you go back, break down their matches, you see the work they're putting in those guys.
Yeah.
On my left center back, I struggled a little bit, but I ended up going with Newcastle's Botman. I think he was also one of those on the, people didn't really notice. But if you look at fantasy scores across, fantasy, and you also watch the games and see what these guys were doing, that you start to realize why Newcastle made the Europa, right? It's because of these guys like Brighton and Newcastle. Champions League. The beginning, the foundation of their success this season was that backline. Right next to him, I also struggled with this. I didn't want to choose Saliba because you guys are going to say,
it's your team, it's your team, you can pick Saliba if you want to.
I think Saliba was a very, very big revelation. I think you can also tell from how Arsenal's season tumbled when he went off. But just because City won the league and because of Ruben Diaz, a little bit more versatile, I chose Ruben Diaz in that role. And then on the right back, I chose Newcastle's Trippier. I think he's also a little bit underrated. My keeper, it was between Pope Raya and De Gea, but I gave it to De Gea because he had 14 clean sheets. My coach, Brighton's coach.
De Zerbi?
Oh, De Zerbi. Yeah, good shout. Yeah. Man, I'll start from the back anyway. I'll build it up from the back. I'm putting Nick Pope as my keeper of the season. Right back, Trippier. Yeah. It's like solid, very solid. Yeah. He that set pieces, he takes their set pieces, gets a few assists. So I put him a right back.
And he's a good, isn't he their captain too? He's a good, solid
he's captain. Very astute signing, because when they bought him, people were like, why are they going to buy this 29-year-old from Atletico? You know, and he has turned out to be like one of their most important player. One
and
of their
got
most
him for cheap
players.
too. It wasn't like 15 million.
Yeah,
or something like
very cheap. It wasn't like, oh no, big money. They just went to guide it, and you can see, you know, that leadership qualities, the experience shows. Yeah. I put Saliba as one of my center backs. I think I've said in one of the previous shows, I just think he was one of the most influential players in Arsenal's title challenge. And when he got that injury, that was a minor factor anyway, but it was still a factor in them starting to drop points, you know, considering a lot of goals. Ruben Diaz, I put Ruben Diaz at center back from Man City. Yeah, I think he has been their most consistent center back. Left back, it was between Estupinian, a bit like Henry. I like Estupinian. Yeah, I think it's very solid. But it was between him and Shaw, and I think I'll go for Luke Shaw. And midfield, Rodri. I won't say too much about Rodri, like one of the best defensive midfielder players around. But I don't know, maybe this is about to sound like a crush, like I'm crushing on this guy, but this Casemiro guy, I can't get enough of this guy, man. Odegaard, fantastic player. He is going into my midfield. When I looked at the stats, I saw he has 15 league goals. I didn't even know he had scored that many. 15 league goals this season. I was like, Odegaard, wow, 15 league goals. That's not bad at all, you know, for a midfielder. So I'm putting him there for my midfield. So my midfield is Odegaard, Rodri, Casemiro. Then up front, Haaland, of course. Mr. Android himself. That guy is not a human being, man. So Haaland up front. I'm putting Martinelli on the left wing, on the left forward row. He's been very impactful. I think, he's on his way to being world class if he keeps it up. And then I'm putting Salah ahead of Saka. Sorry, Arsenal guys. There's no way I'm having Saka ahead of Salah this season. Salah has 30 goals this season and like 17 assists. Now, Saka is nowhere near those numbers. So Salah definitely. Manager Guardiola is on his way to a treble. Okay. You know, come on. Unless you guys can stop him. United is the only team that can actually stop. I don't think Inter can stop him.
Even us, we can't stop him. Nobody should even hope Man United can stop him.
You never know. It's a derby. It's still a Manchester derby.
It's a one-off game. Look, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
This is my own first 11. Goalkeeper, Nick Pope. Look, the guy is... I said it. I also said it earlier in the season, even before the World Cup. Nick Pope should be England's #1 goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Point blank period. Center back pairing. Oh, I struggled with this one. I put Sven Botman and Ruben Diaz. I left back, just like you. It was between Estupinian and Luke Shaw. But again, Luke Shaw, he has been a revelation this season. Yeah. Midfield, Rodri, say less. Like, I don't even need to explain. Mm-hmm. Next to Rodri, I'll put Bruno Guimaraes in that 8th position, and then De Bruyne in 10.
All right.
Left wing, it was between Grealish and Martinelli. But I like Martinelli. I like how he's like reinvented himself, and whatever medicine Arteta is giving him to make him fit, just keep giving. If he's Agbo. Or if he's Lucozade, I don't know what it is, just keep giving it to him, because I did not expect him to be this fit for this long. And I think he has used that as a springboard to just kind of like explode in performances. Dude was legit this season. On the right, you know, between Salah and Saka, Mohamed Salah, like even in a horrible Liverpool season. Mm-hmm. Mohamed Salah still, you know, the man is still putting up big numbers. And again, some of us that were in the beginning of the season talking about, oh, Mane, Salah, you know, Liverpool.
Salah showed up without Mane.
Like, so we see how Mane is struggling over there, and we see how, you know, Salah is again, like in a bad Liverpool season, he's putting up big numbers. So, and up front, Haaland, you know, like, say less. So. Honorable mention, I wanted to find a way to squeeze Odegaard in that midfield. I really, really wanted to. But I can't put him ahead of De Bruyne. Like, I can't. that's just what. But honorable mention Odegaard, honorable mention Caicedo, honorable mention Marcus Rashford, and my coach is Eddie Howe.